and I'm going to share my screen. All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming today. This presentation is near and dear to my heart. This is the selfish shift from lack to love. And so I will begin to present my screen and we can get on into it. Let's see. Share. All right. Oh, maybe I don't love how that is doing it. That's not doing it for me. I want to make it bigger so you all can see this. Let's see. Do entire screen. Yeah, that's better. All right. Okay. All right. So the selfish shift from lack to love. So, this presentation is really about reclaiming the word selfish. So, I have my parentheses around ish. We will break that down, but to simply put it, it is about owning your stuff, owning your ish. Okay. Uh, we want to be able to center within ourselves. And by centering within ourselves, figuring out what it is that we need to be our best selves, to put ourselves in the forefront of our lives, and to selfishly, I'm putting quotes around selfish because we'll redefine it together, selfishly put ourselves first without without any fear and without any guilt. And so, as you can see, the objective is for you to focus on your needs as an individual and being okay with that. Because a lot of times, as mothers, as women, we feel so obligated to everyone else and we become last in our lives. And so, we're going to switch that around. I'm going to give you some tips and tools to switch that around. Reframe your mind. So, one thing I want you all to know is that it is super important to uphold the standards that you set for yourself. So, we might be in constant spaces of realigning with what our standards are, readjusting our standards, our boundaries. And so, you'll decide what that is for you. If you feel like, your standards are set right now, you have some good standards, you got some good boundaries, you'll know that about yourself. We'll go through some exercises that will allow you to reminisce on that, um, or reflect on that. And I would like everyone to take something away from this workshop today, and is to discover at least one new thing about yourself and to commit to at least one thing that you can do to yourself to put yourself first and to uplift yourself. So, a little bit about me. You all know me. I am a confidence and spiritual wellness coach. Went from self love and empowerment, and I wanted to like hone more in on the wellness piece because I'm moving spiritually. Everything I do is really from a soul led, soul centered place, heart centered place. And so the intention of the work that I do with the women that I'm working with is really to tap into the spirit, tap into the heart, and allow them to really feel who they are, feel into who they are, and move from that place to success. So we talked about it. I'm a single mom with twin girls. If you didn't know, my mission is to spread love here on this beautiful earth. I'm the owner and founder of Just Love Coaching and Consulting, which you can find more about if you visit my website. I love connecting and building relationships. It was so amazing to just hear a little bit of advice and tips and tools from all of you beautiful ladies. And yeah, I'm a spiritual wellness healer. That is my love, my focus, where I'm growing at. And simply said, everywhere I go, people love me. And that is not to boast, that is just something that It's a fact for me, and I love that because everywhere I go, I love and want to support the people that I am in contact with. All right. So before we jump too far into it, I'm a big affirmations girl. I love them. I love them. I love them. I actually, I pulled some cards today for us, and I have an affirmations deck that I absolutely love. And the affirmation that I pulled today, actually, it fell out, so I cleansed. Excuse me. I cleansed the deck. I shuffled the deck, and a card fell out. And so I said, we're not going to shuffle anymore. We're going to just pull what popped out. Spirit said, this is what we need to hear today. And so Spirit told me to tell you all the only approval I need is my own. And that just hits so hard with everything that we'll discuss today. So I'm going to keep this to the side. I'll probably remind you of it. But again, the only approval I need is my own. And going along with the affirmation that we have to start this presentation off is I am number one. I am setting new standards for myself. I matter, my truth matters, and my needs matter. So if you're in your car, if you're moving, say that to yourself. I can't hear you right now. I would love for you all, if you want to jump off speaker and say it out loud and own that, but say it to yourself because it's most important for yourself to hear that. Let that resonate with you. I am number one. I am setting new standards for myself. I matter. My truth matters and my needs matter. All right. So, what is selfish? So, I decided to pretty much create an acronym for selfish, and I'm continuing to evolve this acronym as I feel deeper and deeper into it. So, selfish is self elevation leading from internal self honor. We want to honor ourselves at the root of everything. And so, how do we honor ourselves? We listen to ourselves. We're mindful of our spirit. We listen to our bodies. You got your head talking, you got your heart talking, you got your soul talking, you got your body talking. And so, honoring yourself is acknowledging all the different parts of you, listening to those parts of you, and doing what you have to do to elevate in those areas. No, it's not easy. It is an entire journey. But when you intuitively listen to yourself, you take the time and make the space for yourself, you're able to tap in and really hear the messages that these different parts of you are giving you. You hear these messages very clearly if you listen. All right. So, being selfish, owning that word, reclaiming that word is about shifting your perspective, shifting our perspectives, right? We were taught that, the word selfish, it's negative. Don't be selfish. Share whatever you want. Share this, share that, share that. But how do you continue to share with people when you're giving from a place that's empty? And so reclaiming the word selfish is like, hey, I'm going to focus on filling my cup up before I go out and start pouring into everybody else's cup. We want to give from a place of overflow. That is very important so that we're not depleted when we give. So we want to shift our perspectives, and our mindset will start to follow with the practices that we, take on as we shift our perspective. And so before we move forward, whatever space that you are in, I would like to remind you that you are number one. I hope you believe this. If you do not believe this, let it settle in with you. You are number one. You're here today because you decided to put yourself first in this space, and I'm grateful for you doing that. This presentation is something I put together, but this presentation is about us. It's not just about me sharing my knowledge with you, it's about us and being able to really acknowledge the fact that we are number one. We do deserve to be uplifted. We do deserve to have the best things in life. And that starts with us putting ourselves first and understanding what we need. So, if you can close your eyes, if you can, I don't think everyone can, which is fine, but I just want you to feel into what we're about to do. I'm going to do just a little breathing exercise with you all. We're going to take some deep breaths in and we will be exhaling. You could do that eyes closed, but eyes open is absolutely fine. And so we're going to take this first breath and we're going to inhale peace. And we're going to release and exhale love. We'll take this next breath together and we will inhale love. And we'll release and we'll exhale anxiety. And with this last breath, I really want us to center into this and inhale calm. And on this exhale, release and exhale the fear. If your eyes are closed, please open them. I like doing this exercise because at moments when I start to get nervous, unsure of myself, or just, how life is passing us by and we're on the go. All of us here that started, we're mothers, so we know that the hustle and bustle. And sometimes I literally forget to like breathe. Like obviously our body's doing what it does, but I forget to mindfully breathe. And so I found that to be very helpful and very grounding for me to actively, mindfully remember, let me take a couple deep breaths. Like I have time for that. We sometimes make the excuse that we don't have time for something because it's just so much to do. Yes, our body naturally breathes, but to get some additional, suck up some additional oxygen on this beautiful earth, though there's a lot of pollution, but still suck up what we can, if you're not in the greenery spaces all the time. Just allowing that to flow through your body, just to open your mind up, open your heart up, really is so helpful. All right, so I'm gonna go back to selfish. So just breaking it down really quickly, broke this down into a few parts. We know that the self, it's a person's essential being that disguises them, distinguishes them from others, especially considered as the object of introspection or reflective action. So we know the self, it's us, the individual. The ish is a suffix. When I say ish, I mean our ish. However, by definition, you can use this as an add-on to any word. So I'm happy-ish, So it's like kind of, you know what I mean? So yeah, maybe you are kind of being selfish, but in what way? In the positive or in the negative? And so we are being selfish, not even just kind of, but learning to be fully selfish in the most positive way. And then on the other end, like when we just talk about selfish, of a person, action, or motive lacking consideration for others, concerned chiefly with one's own personal profit or pleasure. And so we are canceling out the dictionary definition of selfish as we reclaim our word. And so in reclaiming this, I want to focus on the introspective parts of what selfish is being redefined as: reflective, self centered, to center in oneself. Because when you look at the word selfish, it's like, oh, that person's so self centered. But why are we being self centered? Is it just because, you know, hey, we don't care about anybody else? Or are we being self centered to center in ourselves? And if we center in ourselves and we're grounded, we're able to be better in our relationships, we're able to give more, and we're able to move from a healthier place in space. So honoring our own worthiness, honoring our truth, honoring our voice, and yeah, take care of the self and all the ish that has to do with you. I just love the word, the ish, you know. We want to be polite and professional, so we will not use curse words, but you know, take care of your ish. Okay, so again, just want to reiterate what selfish is. This acronym is about you, the vessel, the being, the spirit, the self. We want to elevate our minds, our bodies, our souls. We want to lead from a direction that empowers us as individuals. We want to honor ourselves internally by being introspective and going within to find the answers that we need. And we just want to make sure we're honoring our truth, we're honoring our voice, we're honoring our feelings. All right, so I have some assignments within this. What I will do, because I know we're not going to be able to go through these assignments together, I have a workbook attached with this presentation. And so, if you would like, I would be more than happy to send you this workbook, and there you'll be able to, you know, take a peek at the assignments in depth. Um, I borrowed from some really helpful places, spaces, and people that supported me along my self love and confidence journey. And so I'm so grateful for a lot of these exercises because as I continue to practice them, they changed my life. And I can't keep a good thing to myself. That would be selfish of me. And that is not the type of selfish that I am. And so I decided to share these amazing practices and exercises with you all. And I hope that there is some great benefit from it. I know there'll be great benefit if you actually put them into action. And so just to get you thinking about it, the first assignment would be to really, you know, sit and take time to journal about what blocks are preventing you from seeing yourself as number one and honoring yourself fully. Everyone that comes into the space, they're not going to look at themselves as number one. There are some beautiful, amazing, confident women in this space, and I know you're number one, and I love that. I love that for you. I love that about you. Keep vibrating that. And there are other sisters that we got to just, you know, we got to pull them up with us because they are number one as well. We want them to see that and to recognize that. And so, even if you do feel like you are number one or you know you're number one, not even feel, we want you to feel it, but you got to know it too. If you know and you feel like you're number one, you can still do this exercise because, you know, as we continue through life's journey, things come up, roadblocks hit us, and we can always, you know, take some time to reflect on where we're at and what we can be doing to improve ourselves. So, this is an exercise that will be in the workbook that you can take some time to do on your own. And next affirmation is I am worthy. I am my top priority. Again, I am worthy. I am my top priority. That is hard. That is hard. That is hard. I will say that again, especially being a mother. Sometimes you feel like you're not doing it right. You might feel like you're not good enough, you know, and you're like, top priority, I got to make sure I hustle and get this money to take care of the bills, take care of the family, make sure my kids have this, that, and the third. I get them here or there on time. And so it begins to feel like maybe you're not your top priority. But as important as all those things are, we are learning to carve out space and time for ourselves. That is the goal, to cut out time and space for ourselves because we are worthy, because we need to be a top priority. So, not putting off the things that we would like to do for ourselves, making those things a need and a must, taking that time and still doing all the other things that are happening around us. Another alignment assignment that will be in your workbook. Uh, what words define your perception of yourself? Our self talk is really, really, really important, really, really, really powerful. Even when we're in joking conversations with our friends and family members, that stuff that we say that might be a joke, we begin to repeat that subconsciously. Our mind is like, yep, check. That's what you think about her. That's what you think about yourself. That's what you think about this, about that. And that begins to be true. That energy vibrates from that. So just taking some time to decide, like, what is it about yourself, what do you really think about yourself? How do you define yourself? You can go through that exercise when you have some time on your own, but taking the time to acknowledge those thoughts that you might not think are harmful, it'll be a nice exercise to really put into perspective and see it on paper. Like, maybe I want to start to practice or start to get rid of that out of my headspace, out of my practice and repetition of thought. All right, so acts of self love and why we need them. It's so important to love yourself. It's so important to be selfish. And I'm going to tell you why it is important to love yourself and to be selfish. So it allows you to focus on your self care, which is like top priority and number one to loving yourself. It allows you to get in touch with yourself and it honors your needs. That is important. A lot of times we are not in alignment with ourselves. And so we're not honoring and we are not loving ourselves as best as we can and as much as we deserve. And so with that, we want to make sure that we are in a place of fulfillment within rather than externally. And so you can have all the riches and all that great stuff in the world and you feel so successful, but if you are not appreciative, loving, and grateful of the work you put in and who you are as an individual, all those accomplishments, they're like null and void. They don't really mean that much. It's nice that you accomplished it, but without really appreciating yourself on an individual level, the things that you accomplish, you'll never find satisfaction with. And so, loving yourself, it helps you boost your confidence. Like, that is so important for us to be confident in whatever spaces and walks and journeys that we're taking in our life because that radiates from us. And it provides internal balance, which is super important to being the best version of ourselves. So as you continue to focus on your needs, you're able to develop a deeper and more intimate relationship with yourself. You're able to depend on yourself for the love and nourishment that you need rather than going to other people and making other people responsible for your happiness. And it allows you to take imperfect actions wherever you are right now if you start doing it today. So start where you are. Do not guilt yourself. Every day is a fresh start. We have another alignment assignment, which I got from the great Letasha, Coach Letasha. Amazing. I love this assignment. This was something that she taught me I could do really quickly in my head. Because I am a writer, I chose to do my little quadrants out and journal about this daily. And the times where I fall off and I'm not able to journal because my journal prompts change from day to day. Some days I'm able to be, repetitious with the prompts that I do. Other days I'm like, I want to journal about this. I love this prompt. I want to get to this. I will use this and do it in my head, or I just have a conversation out loud with myself. Because if anybody knows me, I talk to myself, and yes, I do respond. And no, I'm not crazy. Okay, so this will also be in the workbook. Thank you, Letasha, for introducing this to me. This has really been a great activity to do with myself to check in. So yes, please do this. She teaches on this. So if you want in depth information of how all of this works, mind, body, heart, and soul, she is the one. She is the one. All right. Got another affirmation. I accept and approve of myself. If you can, hug yourself. If you can right now, you know what I mean? If you can't hug yourself, just touch your skin, touch some part of your body just to show some affection to yourself. I accept and approve of myself. This goes along with our affirmation that we started off with. The only approval I need is my own. And that is a fact. If you approve of yourself, it doesn't matter what anyone says about you. And I know you know that is true. I love and I honor myself. So again, touch your skin. If you can't hug yourself, touch your fingers, press your feet into the ground wherever you're driving. If you're pushing on that pedal, wiggle your toes while you're pushing on the pedal, do something, rub your kneecaps, anything. But just communicate and connect with your body and reaffirm your body that, you know what, thank you for holding me solid and during this time for this day, walking me through, breathing through the day. Like, thank your body and remind it that it is loved and appreciated. All right. So, boundaries. Do you have boundaries? Got boundaries, okay? I don't know if you got your coffee. I don't know if you had your cereal, your breakfast bar, your eggs and bacon, but do you got some boundaries? That is super important. And I know we all know this, okay? Own your worthiness. When you own your worthiness, you won't let anybody cross those lines that you set for yourself. You will reinforce them, reinforce them, reinforce them. So much so that as soon as people try and you just be like, put that foot down, put that one good foot down, they're going to fall back. I'm telling you, they are going to fall back. Honor your worth by taking care of yourself. So, the oxygen mask theory that I'm sure we all know is to put your mask on before you help others. I like to say that if, and Latasha knows, if you put someone else's mask on first and you're trying to be Captain Save 'em, then where does that leave you, right? And so we don't want to do that. That will leave us in a place where we are burnt out because we're always trying to save someone, and at the worst, we'll end up, God forbid, dead. Okay. So, my other theory or analogy that goes along with that is that people who can't swim should not jump in the water to save somebody else's life. Be your own lifeguard first. That is very important. Learn to swim first and then be a lifeguard. Okay. So, create boundaries for yourself, set standards for yourself, and know that by you doing this, it provides clarity for yourself and it provides clarity to the people that you engage with. People like clarity. People like to know how to engage with you. But when you let people run free, things just run amok and it gets messy. So with providing clarity, that also really has to do with owning your truth, honoring your voice. So, all right. And so, acts of self love that we can pay forward and why we need them. Excuse me. When your cup is full, you give from your overflow, as we talked about earlier, instead of giving from your lack. This allows you to heal and to give with an open heart. It allows us to have better relationships. We know we all have healing work to do, but as we are doing our healing work, it is not only going to heal us, it's going to heal the relationships that have been bruised. It's going to heal those traumas that maybe these people have caused us. And so it's so important to make sure that you are doing your healing work, your shadow work, whatever is comfortable for you, but doing that work to improve yourself and get in alignment with yourself on an individual level. It allows you to give more to yourself, which is so important. So, so, so important. Like all the giving that we're doing to everyone around us, sometimes we're like, well, nobody does X, Y, and Z for me, and I do all this stuff for other people. But you know what? If you gave to yourself the way you should be giving to yourself, I'm telling you, it wouldn't even matter if nobody got you a little box with a card and some candy in it, whatever it is. Like the smallest, not that those things are not important and don't make you, and they do make you feel valued. But if no one did that, you wouldn't be missing out on anything because you love yourself so much, you honor yourself so much, and you put yourself first and treat yourself like a prize that you'd be okay if no one ever got you anything because you give yourself the best gift ever. And that is putting yourself first, loving on yourself, and honoring yourself. And so give to yourself because who doesn't want to receive? And you're the best person that you can receive from. Lastly, paying this forward is an act of helping you to spread love and to share this love that you're cultivating for yourself to spill that over into other areas of your life. It allows you to vibrate outward and to elevate the world's vibrational love energy, which to me, that's one of the things that matters most to me, vibrating love and elevating the love energy throughout the world, because that to me is true healing and allows us to get on one accord. So we got a lot of work to do, but it's worth it. All right, I'm going to do another affirmation. I give myself permission to put myself first. Please do, please do, please do, please do. Live on First Street, live on First Avenue because you are number one, and that is the best street to live on. I don't care whatever the street title is, where you're at, where you live, where you stay, where you own, where you rent, whatever it is, First Street. Remind yourself, I'm on First Street every day. If you're on First Street every day, what do you do on First Street? You honor yourself, you uplift yourself, you love yourself, you're empowered, So give yourself permission. A lot of times we are unable to give ourselves permission, or we don't even think about giving ourselves permission. Give yourself permission to put yourself first and to honor the beautiful you. We have another alignment assignment. What are your top five needs right now? Think about that, resonate on that. I'm sure we could all come up with something really quickly. Some of us might need some coffee. Me, my top need right now is water. I've been talking to y'all for a long time and I would love for this to be more interactive, but for time purposes, I can't hear your beautiful voices and see your beautiful faces, but water would be my top need right now. So think about what your top needs are and what can you do to honor those needs. All right. And just to reiterate on selfish, because I got to keep hitting you with the selfish, because I got to make sure that I try to hammer that into your heads. Selfish is self elevation leading from internal self honor. Okay. Acknowledging yourself, knowing that you're worth it, listening, uplifting your voice, and elevating from where you are into a new place and space in your life, okay? So when you think of selfish, remember that it's not about, you know, not doing for others or uh, being typically selfish and not sharing and not caring of others. This selfish is really about making sure that we honor and do for ourselves so that we are able to give more. So it's not self centered unless you're centering in yourself. When you're centering in yourself, that is good for you and for everybody else around you. All right. And so I want to do a brief check in. What I will do is, well, let's talk about it. Think about one thing that you discovered about yourself. I know we didn't get to talk through any of this stuff, but if there is something that resonated with you and you're like, oh, okay, I can do that. I'm not doing that. Think about one thing that you may have discovered about yourself through this presentation. And then think of one thing that you can do. Something small doesn't need to be extravagant. We're building, right? So it could be really simple. One thing, at least one thing you can do to commit to yourself and to put yourself first that allows you to uplift yourself on this self love and self care journey. And so I'm going to go through the last slides. And if we have some time, which it looks like we may have a couple of minutes, I would like to hear something that you learned about yourself and something that you can commit to. And I want to know, do you solemnly swear to tell and honor that truth for yourself? So you can get in contact with me through my website, through email, my phone number. I have a campaign that I have started and I am promoting. It is the I Give a Heart campaign. It is a love spreading campaign. So if you would like to join me on the journey to spread love, which I know you all are already spreading love everywhere you go, please check out my website. I have apparel and I would love to have your support, but most importantly, I would just love for you to continue to vibrate this and pay this energy forward to somebody else in your life or throughout your day today. And thank you for attending my workshop so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. And so, really, last but not least, I am launching a Mother of Colors group for my beautiful mommies. The Midnight Mommies group is a women's group that is a safe space for women of color to share their experiences of motherhood as we did today, share resources, explore our identities, and pursue our interests. It is a bi-weekly, monthly, 2 monthly meetings, bi-weekly, and we'll be in one session we'll be talking, updating, sharing resources, and the second session of the month is a mastermind group. And so we'll be sitting there, we'll be putting our goals out there, and we'll be supporting each other, giving feedback, and helping each other figure out step by step how we get to these goals as we watch our goals come into fruition. So I would love to have all of you a part of it. If you know other women that this could benefit from a space like this, Midnight Mommies is the place to be because we are more than just mothers. So I will share that information with you as well if you would like, along with the workbook to this presentation. And I thank you so much for coming. I am going to stop sharing my screen. And if anybody wants to come on and talk or share one thing they discovered about themselves and one commitment, I would love to hear what that commitment is and what you discovered. Did I not? Oh, I thought I stopped.
So I can share.